Right then. So, hello everyone and welcome to round 18 of this season. It's race day in COTA, wedding to COTA this on this Tuesday evening, and I believe we're currently waiting for a few more drivers. I have no idea if how many are racing. We've got 14 I think at the moment. So we're a bit low on numbers this weekend. I said this weekend. We are on Tuesday. So I have no idea how long we're going to be waiting. So some nice chill out time. Yeah, dear. Oh, we have another driver. So we're up to 15 drivers, I believe. I would hope. Because, you know, more drivers gives us a little bit more action, which is absolutely fantabulous. Right. So, this is awesome. So I think we're now ready to go, is my guess. Because 4 people have readied up. I'm assuming just because it is now 4 minutes past the hour. And people are getting impatient. Which is understandable. Oh, the host is now ready. So we are now getting underway and heading to COTA. This is my personal favourite track on the calendar. Definitely one of the best, if not the best, that's come out of recent. One of the best tracks that have come out in the last decade and a half. So yeah, championship-wise, close at the moment. Got Sean at the top on 290. Followed by Shelley in second place, just 6 points behind Sean. So, we're going to see how these two do around here. Sean has been very rapid in time trial. He's, last time I checked, he was 4th in the world. So, amazing things from the championship leaders. Constructors wise as well, I think it is it can be wrapped up today. Toro Rosso 85 points behind, so as long as they don't get outscored by 39, if my maths are correct, as long as they don't get outscored by 38. If they don't get outscored by 38, then the constructors will keep on going until the next round in Mexico. So it's going to be a dry qualifying. Who's going to be the first man out? I believe, from what I've heard from some of the drivers in practice, overheating is quite a big problem on the softest compound at this track, which I believe is the Ultra Softs. So we have a Williams who's out on track. We're going to find out who that is as soon as they leave the garage. Oh, it's Jamie. Jamie is the first man out on track in the Williams. So he's gone out on the soft tyres. No. Let's see what other drivers are doing. We've gone the wrong way. We've got H Racing Green out on the Ultra Soft. So it is interesting the split decisions we've got, and we've got Fat Demon out on the. Let's have a look so that everyone gets a better perspective. Here we go. So lots of variations of tyres going on here, which is interesting to see. We've got some people on the soft tyres, which is probably going to be the one that the drivers favour most in the race. And it's going to be interesting how this turns out. So we're going to go on board with Jamie, since he is the first one out on the track. And yeah, so here we go. As he enters through, as he goes into the last corner, we should say. Right, here we go. To start the lap for Jamie 995 across the line, DRS wide open into turn 1. How's he doing on the brakes? Gets a nice apex, good drive coming off the corner through a flat out turn 2 into the S's, and he's run wide through the middle there, which is going to hurt him for this double right-hander. So there's not been a good first sector for Jamie. He's missed the apex to the left there as well. So not been an ideal first lap for the Williams. As we head down in towards the hairpin that leads on to this really long back straight, which will be probably the main overtaking spot, losing the back end on the exit slightly. DRS going to be open now. Pressing the button, there it is, the DRS flap wide open. Heading into the braking zone at the end of the back straight to complete the second sector. We're going to get up a track map on Google as well, so that we know what corner's what here. And now we're into the Mickey Mouse section of the lap, which is a pain in the backside for a couple of these drivers. Jamie hooks it up pretty well, and through a long, easy, flat right-hander. I say it's easy. There was a lot of understeer in the middle there. And into the second to last corner. It looks like quite a cautious lap, I'll be honest, for the Williams driver, as he enters the last corner and across the line for the first lap time of the session. And it's a 35. It's a 30. Okay, H Racing Green has gone 2 seconds quicker, and I don't think those are particularly fast laps. I think 30s is low 30s are what is going to be the quickest pole time, as we're now seeing Dan the Snake going fastest on a 31.4, followed by Fap Demon in second on the Super Sauce, it must be said, only a 10th off pole at the moment. So who can we now look at? Is Shelley on a lap? Let's have a look. Lap data, here we go. Yeah, he is on a lap. So into the last corner we go on the Super Softs. What's he gonna do? Across the line, he goes second to his teammate, a 10th off, just ahead of Fat Demon in the McLaren on the same compound of tyre, so he'll be happy with that. Now, where is Sean? Sean on a lap? Yep, he is. I think he's got his lap invalidated, judging by the time. Oh, no, he hasn't. Has he? We're about to find out. No, it's just a slow lap. So, clearly he has no interest in going quick at the moment. Jake across the second sector split into the tight double left. Gets a nice drive coming off the corner. And we head back to Google. There's a yellow in the middle of the lap. Alright, what's Jake's abandoned his lap, so clearly it wasn't that good of a lap, or he just doesn't want to set a lap yet. So, who has not set a lap? Right, Alex is in the pits. Let's look at him. Let's look at Slotty. There we go. On board with the Mercedes as we head into turn 12. Now that we have a track map up on Google, we know what corner's what. So into turn 12, Slossy's locks up, and again it seems like quite a cautious lap. Right, apologies for that. I was about to have a coughing fit and would not have been a good idea to have that on the stream. Right, so Slossie's all over the shop, coming out of the last corner. So I think that that was a lap. It was just invalidated at the time, so it's not been an ideal start for the Mercedes. So how's it going to negotiate with this middle, well, first sector? He's negotiated it quite well. It does look a little bit cautious. There's a yellow in sector 1, which is presumably there's someone getting out of the way. So what I'm gathering at the moment from looking at these onboards is there's not a lot of grip at the moment. Whether that's track related or whether it's the fact that a lot of people were just struggling for front end grip, especially with the softs, it must be said. It looks like they're boats driving around at the moment. So into turn 12 again. This definitely looks like a better lap. Could have used more of the road on the way in to turn 13. Into turn 15 we go. Kind of went deep, but hooked up the apex well. Got a good drive coming off the corner. Understeering his way through the reverse turn 8 from Turkey. Into the second to last corner. Into the last corner we go. Nice and smooth on the brakes. Nice and smooth on the exit as well. Coming across the line for a 33.8, which puts him ahead of Jamie, who has come out back on the super soft. Right. So, we've got 4 people yet to do a lap. We get to set a clean lap. So, we're going to see how this goes. I think we may as well try and stick with Jamie. Although Alex is on the lap. So we're going to stay on board with Alex, in fact. I feel like the people who are on Ultrasoft at the moment are just on a little bit of a cruise lap. So a lot of people have set times on the soft tyres. Which must just be cycle laps, to be honest. Just in case, you know, anything weird happens in the session, they've got a banker to rely on. Same can be said with the people on Ultrasofts. But anyway, into turn 12 we go. Alex, I think, went a little bit deep there on the brakes. Into the last sector of the lap. Into the right, which becomes a triple kind of apex left-hander, which is only officially apparently one corner. So that's a little bit odd, but anyway. Into the penultimate turn. Hooks it up nicely. Doesn't go too wide on the exit either. Using a lot of curb on the way in to try and minimise the angle of the corner. And it's pole for Alex on the Ultrasofts. It's a 31-0. And let's see what Doward can do, because he's probably going to be on the lap as well. Yes, he is on the lap. So he is now entering the last sector as well. What about Mr. Raymeth is slightly further up the road, so we're going to stay on board with him for now. Into the penultimate corner. He looks like he's pushing quite hard on this lap. Into the last corner he goes. Across the line in a few seconds time. And it was invalidated. So was Doward's. Fantastic job, boys. Right. Let's have a look. Where's Jamie 905? He's probably on a lap. He has just finished a lap, in fact. So let's go on board with the championship leader. On the Ultrasoft tyres, once again, Shelley's just popped in a fastest lap. That's more the time I was expecting to see, a 30.3. What can his championship rival Sean respond with? Right, we are going to have to drink a lot is what I'm learning, because my throat is struggling with this. Right. This definitely looks like another slow lap from Sean. So I don't know whether he's got it invalidated somewhere, but oh well. Who's on track at the moment? Dan the Snake. That Fat Demon. Oh, Fat Demon's just going on to a lap. So let's see what the winner in Belgium can produce after what was a fantastic spectacle. His only race win this season. Right, into turn 1, on board with the front wing. There's a very steep climb going up into the corner. Does he hit the apex? Clips the apex beautifully well, actually. Struggles a little bit for drive coming off the corner, but I think that's part of his rather weird driving style. Into what is probably the best part of the lap, to be honest. Completing the first sector. And no idea if that's a good time for 24/7. I imagine it is. But as he heads now down on the run towards turn 11. A little bit of a lock-up, but it might just be a visual lock-up from the gang. Missed the apex slightly, but it doesn't really hurt him. Coming onto the straight, you can get away with it just about. DRS wide open. Coming into sector 3 after this corner. Another little lock-up. All looks quite calm and composed, I must be honest, on the ultra soft tyres. So lots of people have gone for the ultra softs, it seems. Whether or not it is for a banker, and they're going to improve and go on a harder set. And Demon is coming into the pits, so that is just a sighter. What about Dan the Snake? Dan the Snake has chosen to come back into the pits as well. Right, let's look for someone who's on a lap. Are you on a lap, Fap Alex? I'm assuming he is, so we're going to stay on board with him. As he is basically the only man on track, apart from this guy, who is on a cruising lap. So we're going to stay on board with Fap Alex. Down the back straight. And holy mother, my throat is honestly struggling with this. We're going to have to drink a lot of water during this stream. Right, so into the last sector of the lap. Very, very wide on the entry there. I've never seen that racing line before. Whether or not that clearly works for him, I wouldn't say it's optimal, but here I am talking over someone who's driving. So he has decided to abandon the lap for some reason, or he's about to start another one. Okay, that's interesting. That explains the rather odd lines as the earlier on in the lap. So here we go back. He's got a lot of traffic. This is not ideal for him. That car gets well out of the way, and so are a lot of people. So we're now in the last 3 minutes of the qualifying session, and as far as I know, Fap Alex is the only one on a lap, but we're going to stay watching him through turn 9, through the flat left-hander of 10, on a run down towards turn 11. I think missed the apex slightly on the exit, but very nice coming off this corner. Onto the back straight, the DRS wide open once again, as we head into turn 12. Nice and lovely on the brakes as we enter the third sector of the lap. Through the right, let's go on board with him. Once again, I feel like that would have invalidated the lap, because he's gone slightly off the track there. We're going to see if it has invalidated the lap. It definitely wouldn't have gained him anything. But yeah, that is unfortunate for the Haas as he enters the last corner. Been a very smooth lap, it must be said. And it did not invalidate the lap, so he comes across the line with a 32.0, which I think is going to be the best he can do. Let's have a watch of Sean. Sean's on an out lap. So, Dowid, are you on a lap, son? Judging by how far you've gone with that apex, I'm assuming not. Shelley? Shelley's about to go on a lap. I think everyone's on an out lap. Oh, Demon is not. Demon is pushing. Right, here we go then. He's taking a lot of speed into these corners, so I feel like Demon's going to be on for a lap that will at least put him up into second place for now, because the times do not look at all fast whatsoever. Jake, by the way, at some point has slotted himself into 5th place. So, onto the back straight now goes Demon. We can see the DRS at the bottom of the screen opening up down towards the back straight, or down on the exit. The end of the back straight into the 3rd sector of the lap. Very nice and tidy so far from the McLaren, and gets it into the apex of turn 15. Thank you, track map. Through the reverse turn 8 from Turkey, which is basically 16, 17 and 18, into the penultimate corner. He's got traffic at the end of the lap, which is going to be really off-putting, and that Mercedes has had to take avoiding action, which is going to ruin his lap. And Demon does indeed take pole, but I feel like the Mercedes is going to be would have been quite a big distraction there for him as well. I don't know which Mercedes that was. We'll probably find out afterwards. Shelley has abandoned his lap, so what about Dan the Snake? What's he going to pull as he comes across the line, exiting the last corner? No improvement, and is choosing not to go into another lap, so I think he got the lap invalidated at some point. Right, H Racing Green, what have you got in the tank? Dowd has slotted it in 3rd place, which is 7 tenths quicker than the next person in front of him, which is remarkable. Let's have a look. So H Racing Green comes across the line. There's quite an alarming. Where's Sean? Sean's retired. Okay. So here comes. We literally only have the 2 Mercedes left. Okay, that's interesting. So here comes Roy. I'm gonna. I don't know how to pronounce your name, so we're gonna go with Roy. He's come across the line. He's last. Slossie has worked his way up into 11th place. So Sean, championship leader, is starting down in 14th. No idea what has actually happened to him. And I'll be honest, that's one of the most bizarre qualifyings I've ever seen in league racing history. I don't think I've ever seen such a split in a league racing before, in a qualifying session. So I think it was this Mercedes that had to jump out of the way going into the last corner, which is probably wrecked the start of his lap. But this is the order, as I believe we're waiting for 3 people to retire. There's been some kind of accident on the back straight apparently, involving H Racing Green, who is just stationary next to Alex. So that's always good to watch. So, sorry if you heard that. That was a little bit of a burp. So, while we wait for the rest of the drivers to retire, this is going to be the order for the race. This has now just gone away from us. So this is the order for the race then. We've got Fap Demon on pole by 62,000 from Shelley. And then we've got Car Alexon, a stunning 5 tenths off pole in 3rd, followed by Dowd, Dan, Raymith, the first man starting on the Super Softs, followed by Jake, H Racing Green, Ace Hasnain, Fap Alex, Slossie Jamie, Carbon Fibre, Sean, and Roy. That's what we're going with here. We're going with Roy. Do me proud, Roy. Okay, dokie. So, what's your race predictions? No idea what the weather's going to be like either for the race. I've had no insight into this race whatsoever. Yep, Sean, well and truly on it again. It's going to be interesting to see how quickly Sean can come back through the order, because he's got a habit of it. From I don't know how he ends up in positions. Is he the, as far as I know, on pole up at the front, or he's on an absolute mare and he's at the back for some reason? But he quickly works his way up through the field again. So it's going to be interesting to see his progress. It looks quite dry, so whether the rain's going to come in later on in the race, we'll have to wait and see. Quite a few people have gone ultra softs, which is interesting. So we'll have to see how the tyres hold up in regards to temperature and wear, to be fair now. And this is a big opportunity for Shelley, who is on the front row. We are going to have to sit through the formation lap first, though, so the drivers get their tyres up to temperature. So yeah, this is what we are sat with now. So we've got the top 8 all on ultras, apart from Rainmouth, and then Ace has Nain and Alex on the super softs as well, like they qualified on. And then we've got Slothy starting on the softs, which is going to be interesting to see how that pans out for him. And then we've got Jamie, Carbon Fibre, Sean and Roy on presumably fresh super softs to start the race with as well. So this is going to be amazing to see how this pans out. This track does allow itself for good overtaking opportunities, this being one of them at the end of the back straight. And it kind of leads into this Mickey Mouse section, which you can use to surprise someone. And quite frankly, I think this man here is going to be needing to surprise a lot of people if he wants to get back into the podium spots. Okay, as he lights up the rear tyres on the exit of turn 12. So, what's he, I wonder what Sean's gonna do. He's got, I have no doubt in my mind that he is quicker than a lot of the people that's directly in front of him. So he should work his way up the field relatively quickly. It's only until he approaches probably his teammate in 6th where he'll start to run into a few problems. But anyway, as we reach the end of the formation lap, we've got Fap Demon parking into his grid slot, as everyone is now. Someone got reset towards the end there, so that's not going to help their tyre temperatures. I'm going to have a quick drink of water before the lights go out, otherwise my throat's not going to make it. Right, here we go then. The 5 red lights coming on to start the US Grand Prix. Lights out, away we go off the line, and Fat Demon has got a really good start. Shelley's kind of alongside him though. He's got the inside for turn 1, and he is going to stick his nose up the inside. And is he going to give Fat Demon space on the exit? Yes, he does. Demon holds it around the outside and keeps that position as we enter the first sector. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of one at a time unless someone bizarrely tries to hold it. Mercedes is off in the background, but it is Fat Demon who still leads from Shelley in 2nd, Alex in 3rd. Let's see if anyone made any positions. Jake is up a position ahead of Raymeth, obviously using the ultra soft tyres very well to help his chances there. So as we enter the back straight, Slossy's up 2 places as well, and so is Carbon Fibre. But anyway, as we go down the back straight, can Shelley find enough power in that Honda engine behind them to try and challenge Demon towards the end of the back straight? No, not quite just yet, but we do have the 2 Red Bulls who typically follow each other around and try to work together as a team. But we're going to see how this pans out remember Dan the Snake as well is trying to find his way past so he can get up into the podium places, and obviously try and help with that constructors bid as we enter the end of the first lap. And Fat Demon is beginning to get away up front, 8/10 into the last corner, and Alex is holding on pretty well, you've got to say. But Dan definitely looks like he's got a lot of front grip at the moment. He's able to turn the car a little bit more. Let's see how Sean is doing down at the back. He's looking for a move from Fap Alex into turn 1. We've got a horrible camera here, and got to be careful not to run to the back of Jamie as well. Is the car still alongside him? Yes, he is. Or is he not? I don't think he is. I can hear him, which is what Sean will be listening to, but judging by how Sean's taken that apex, he has got the position on Fap Alex. So he's made up one spot, and he's got a long way to go, but the field is all compressed in one long train at the moment. So Slossie is going to be the cork in the bottle, really, on the soft tyres, up in 9th place, because he's got a bunch of people on faster tyres right behind him. And yeah, Slossie's going to struggle to hold on to the ultra soft runners. Raymond's doing a good job at the moment to hold on as well. And Dowid is extremely close to the back of his teammate. He's actually up the inside, so Alex has presumably given the go-ahead to let him go through. Alex now defending against Dan. Dan's going to, if he can hold it, have the inside for the next two left-handers. He does not, and Jake almost running into the back of the Toro Rosso there, but didn't quite make it. So Sean has made his way past his name. I think Jamie got past his name, and that led to Sean getting past his name as well, which is good news for those two, but obviously he has name losing 2 places. And now we've got DRS enabled, so I don't believe it's going to be working down the pit straight just yet, as Dan is extremely close to the back of Alex into turn 1, but not quite looking for a move just yet. And what's this? Sean passing Jamie. Sean is up into 11th then, so he's already just outside the points. Jamie easing his way through, not challenging the championship leader, and Sean will start making his way, trying to close that gap up to the cars in front of him so he can get himself into the points. Let's have a look at Shelley. Shelley within the DRS, that 1 second DRS zone, and we're going to see how this pans out. He's actually got good drive there coming off of turn 11 through down the back straight. DRS is wide open. Will Demon defend it? Demon does not defend. Allow Shelley to take the inside line. Shelley moves up into first place. Dowid has started to pull away quite a lot from his teammate, but Alex has maintained that position thanks to the help of DRS from his teammate, and yeah, he's been able to keep that place. Let's flick back to Sean. Sean has caught the guys in front of him, and Slossie is holding on, you know. I think the Red Bulls are not that fast at all at the moment. And we've had a bold prediction from the chat that Slossie's going to get a podium from Yano, so we're going to see how that pans out. Slossie is the man that's going to be doing the bits and pulling out a surprise podium. Doing well though, he's holding on relatively well. Right, Sean, is he going to make he's too far back to make a move from this far, and sensibly does not go for a dive just yet. So, let's see how the top two are doing. Oh, Demon's struggling with rear tyres, it looks like, judging from that. And the more you slide, the more you overheat. And I think on these Ultra Softs, once you get the temperatures up, it is going to be very hard to get those rear temperatures back down. So we've just... Oh, Alex is back up the inside of Dowid into turn 11. And I think Alex is going to be able to... Oh, Jake's lost it on the exit of the corner. This is going to allow... Oh, he didn't lose it quite. But Dowid is... Yeah, Dowid does not have the DRS because obviously he was in front going across the detection zone, which is, I think, on the exit of turn 10, not on the way into turn 11. So Jake has had a mare somewhere with Carbon Fibre, is that? Oh, Carbon Fibre sent it up the inside of Jamie 9 and 5, pushes him off the track. Right, what happened to Jake? Where you at, mate? Oh, he's got damage as well. Has he? Yes, he's got a lot of damage. A lot of that end plate is missing. So, GR Demon has dropped a long way off the back off of Shelley. So, I think his rear tyres are done. Dowid is coming into the pits because I feel like his tyres are also done. So, lap 4, at the end of lap 4 is where these guys are coming in. Dowid putting on the softs. So, the usual one-stop race predicted. H Racing Green and Jake are also in the pit lane. Sean has passed Slossie as well. So he's made his way up into 5th place now. Obviously with the exception of 3 people pitting. So Sean's doing a good job. He's now the first of the Super Soft runners. What has happened to Raymith as well? Because he's ended up... He's not stopped. So clearly he was involved in that collision with Jake, which has resulted in Jake dropping to last place now. And yeah, that's a good shame. That's a big shame. And GR Demon has got absolutely no tyres left. Alex now within 0.2 of a second behind Demon. And let's have a look at the body language of the car. Let's go on ball with the McLaren. I feel like he's taking it extremely easy. Oh yeah, those rear tyres. The back end looks very nervous. And I think those tyres are done. So Fat Demon went too fast too quickly. And he's now getting the, well, not the benefits from it. He's anything but. So Alex carries on for another lap, as does Shelley. So clearly they're looking after their tyres well. And this has allowed Dan the Snake to come in as well. And so these guys are all going to jump onto the softs and try and get to presumably the end of the race. So it's a long stop for Dan. Okay, he's disappeared. Right. So where are these guys going to be joining against Dowid? Dowid's there on the left hand side of your screen. Where's Dowid? Here he is. He's going to be... Dan has... Oh, Dowid stuck his nose in for turn 2. That's awfully brave. They're going to be side by side. Dan has got no confidence on those soft tyres and backs out of the move. So clearly it's taking a while for those soft tyres to warm up. And we're now looking at Shelley in the lead. I feel like we should be watching a battle. So we're going to go to Carbon Fibre and Jamie as H Racing Green has got a penalty for multiple warnings. Here comes Jamie 995 up the back. The Sauber of Carbon Fibre up the inside into turn 12. Nice move on the brakes with DRS, and Slossie tries to make a switchback move, but it doesn't work out, and Jamie has got that position and is up into 5th place. So we're not going to have a good idea of who is where for a long time in this race when these super soft runners start to run out of tyres and then jump onto the softs. But it's all about how those people on the softs manage to get towards the end of the race. It's going to be interesting to see. So the field up front is pretty spread out about now. So Dowid has caught his way onto the back of Fat Demon. Fap Alex is the first of the super soft runners to come in on lap number 6. So he's not gone that much further, considering Alex and Shelley have gone to lap 7 on the Ultras. It's kind of concerning for Fap Alex that he's already come in. And Carbon Fibre, I think, is running out of tyres as well. So these Pirellis clearly very sensitive around this track. And I feel like we're going to have to go on board with Dowid, as he's extremely close to the back of Demon. And we're going to have to switch back to Hasname. Dowid has just got a penalty for some cutting there. 3 warnings, which I presume is, judging by the layout of the track, is extremely easy to do. So a position change then. Raymith passing Roy, and Hasnane is not close enough for a move on Carbon Fibre just yet. Now let's go back towards the front. Sean isn't gaining a tremendous amount of time on these two. So clearly these Ultrasofts, they've been managing these Ultrasofts really well. And Shelley has the confidence to go round again. So very good management from Shelley there, which is amazing to see. Alex comes in as Slossie's got a penalty. So let's head back towards Dowd in a battle for what will be the podium, well, the back end of the podium places, I assume by now. Where's Alex going to rejoin? We're going to see Alex rejoining on the left hand side. There he is. There's Alex, and he is going to be behind these three, but on about 2 laps and 3 laps fresher tyres than Dowd. So yeah, it's not worked out too bad for Alex. We'll see if this if the move of staying out longer comes back to reward him at the end of the race. Dowd gets a little bit sideways to the middle of the S's there, and we're going to see how this battle turns out as well. I don't suppose following these cars as close as these guys are is going to be helping their tyre temperatures either, and I think Demon's learned the hard way that he's going to have to manage these tyres towards the end of the race. We've got Raymith, here we are on board with him, going up the inside of Roy, oh sorry, Hasnain, in towards turn 12, gets it stopped beautifully well, and I think the superior pace of the Ferrari helping him there, and he is up into 6th place, and he's going to get past Carbon Fibre almost certainly into this left-hander, up the inside, move done, and that's 2 cars in about the space of 3-4 corners. So Shelley, the race leader, is into the pit lane. If we can find him, there we go, into the pit lane on those ultra softs. He's gone to lap 8, which is very impressive indeed, considering how we were seeing stops as early as lap 4. So we're going to see where he comes out. He's going to be right in the thick of it, in the middle of that queue, as they all pour past him on the right hand side. You're going to see, is he really going to rejoin in the lead still? The net lead? Oh, okay. Mercedes of Roy has gone very wide. Shelley with a very cautious exit there, and he's done a good job. He's actually managed to maintain the lead of the race despite going quite a bit longer on what is arguably worse tyres. So he's done quite a good job there, and Alex is taking a while. So clearly warm-up is definitely a problem, as Dowd gets another penalty. So yeah, apparently warm-up is definitely a problem, and now we've got this situation where these guys are going to be struggling to get past cars who they're not actually fighting with, and this is what's going to be helping Sean up front to try and capitalise that towards the end of the race, when he's going to be on significantly less, or significantly more fresher tyres. And Shelley passes Roy, and Roy's actually gone off the well, I don't think he went off the track, but he's definitely struggling on those tyres now, and getting in the way of Dowd. Dowd up the inside is Dan of taking avoiding action there, and Roy actually tapping the back of the Red Bull, and this is going to cost Dan an awful lot of time, and he's already dropped to a second behind Dowd, so he's got to make that time back up at some point, as Shelley is getting very close to the back of the Williams. It peels off into the pit lane, so that's one less car for him to pick off, as Demon gets the penalty, and Dowd is right up the gearbox of the McLaren, but I don't think he's going to make a dive up the inside, and H Racing Green's got another penalty as well, and he has fallen off the back of these guys a lot, so I don't know whether or not he got caught up in the mess of what happened with Jake at the towards the end of the first stint. But yeah, we've got a couple of the super soft guys pitting and coming out now, so we're getting a more ideal. Oh, Sean is pitted as well, did not see that. So Slossie is now in the lead of the race, as Shelley is looking for a move up the inside of turn 11 on the Sauber of Carbon Fibre, and Carbon Fibre with some good drive coming off the corner. Actually, is he going to have a run back towards turn 12 against the Toro Rosso? I feel like he could if he wanted to, but I don't think he really wants to. Demon's up the inside of him now, and is going to make that move stick very well indeed. Dowd's going to go for a dive, no doubt, on the brakes. He does go for a dive, because he really does not want to lose time to the guys in front. And Carbon Fibre retaliates. He comes back on the brakes. Dowd is going to go wide on the exit, and then going to have the inside for this corner. and Carbon Fibre gives a lot of space quite sensibly towards the Red Bull driver, and Alex has now regained the time that he's lost. Oh, there's contact. Dan's in the barrier. Carbon Fibre's out of the race, and Dan is now backwards, I believe, without a front wing. He's got a lot of damage to the front wing, but yeah, that is Carbon Fibre out of the race then. So I think Carbon Fibre was a little bit wide to the second to last corner. Dan's unintentionally just kind of driven into him with the pace that he's got. And yeah, that's cost Dan an awful lot of time and put him basically out of contention for this race unless there's a safety car. And Dan's actually retired because he knows he's no longer in contention. And this has helped Sean a lot. Sean is now just 2-3 seconds off the back of Alex. And he's going to be the first of the guys that he's really racing with. So... and he's on significantly fresher tyres as well. So this has worked out pretty well for Sean. As these guys are beginning to spread out. Dowd has lost quite a lot, obviously, in that battling with Carbon Fibre. And it's allowed Alex to catch up. So will we see any more team orders coming from Red Bull? As Demon is trying to hold on to the back of Shelley. And Shelley, with 3 laps fresher tyres, you've got to imagine has got it pretty under control at this point in the race. So, lap 11, as we're nearing the halfway stage of the race. Lap 11, Slossie leads by 3.9 seconds from a man who's just pitted, Jamie, into the pits. So Dowie takes an interesting line on the exit of the last corner and is letting Alex through, or is he defending? He's letting him through I'm pretty sure he was letting him through, and he's done it in a really unorthodox way there. But we're going to see if Alex can pull him along so that they can catch the top 2, because otherwise I think they're gonna struggle. So yeah, Slossie now leads the race on lap 12 on the soft tyres on which he started on. So not doing too bad a job at the moment. 4 seconds ahead of Shelley, who is in what I would say is a pretty comfortable position, managing the gap towards Demon. Alex is in a net 3rd, but 4th at the moment. Dowd is in 5th. Sean from 14th is up in 6th. Raymith in 7th. Jamie Nunn on 5 and 8th. Followed by H Racing Green, Jake, Fap Alex, Ace Hasnane, and Roy is the last of the runners at the moment. 2 retirements in Dan and Carbon Fibre, who were both just involved in an accident on the exit of the second to last corner. So, as we are on board with Fat Demon at the moment, as we've missed Fap Alex passing Jake there. So there's a bit of a battle going on down at the back between the 2 Haas drivers. Shelley sets the fastest lap of the race, so I have no doubt in my mind that he's in a very comfortable position at the moment. And he will, as it stands now, take the championship lead, as Jake looks like he's struggling a lot for grip, as Ace Hasnane is getting onto the back of him for 11th place. This whole battle, Slossie's got another penalty, which is a shame. But yeah, this is the battle for the last point between Fap Alex, Jake and Hasnane. Hasnane on a much better position in terms of tyres. And Jake, obviously with that damage, having to pit, I think, on lap 4. Is really on in a bad situation with his tyres, because he's on one of the oldest tyres, sets of tyres in the field. And he's got, I think, having had some rather late practice, I think he's going to struggle to make it into the points in the position that he's in now. And Fap Alex actually having a very bad run on the exit of that corner, because that's allowed Jake to maintain being in the DRS zone. Jake late on the brakes, missing the apex and losing a little bit of time to his teammate. But yeah, we're going to see how this battle shakes up between the Haas a little bit later on. So, back with the provisional race leader, not actual race leader because he hasn't stopped yet. And on board, watching the front wing through turn 1. Slossie is leading the race, doing very calm and collected job at the moment. As Ramos sets the fastest lap of the race on a 35.2. He's got some good pace. Dowd has dropped off the back of his teammate and is falling into the clutches of Sean, so he's struggling for pace, I think, on the soft tyres. Once again, he's got the oldest set, one of the oldest sets of tyres as well, having done 9 laps, and the next 3 people have got significantly fresher tyres. But anyway, this is going to be Shelley, presumably retaking the lead of the race as Jake's collected a penalty. Here comes Shelley in the Toro Rosso, up the inside into turn 12. Shelley looks like he's gone very deep. He has gone deep. He's gone a little bit wide on the exit of the corner, but he's going to hold the inside for the right-hander, and he's going to just about maintain that position. And that is the Toro Rosso back up into first place. And I think, barring no mistakes or safety cars, he's in a relatively comfortable position and can just basically cruise towards the end of the race. So, let's have a look at Fap Alex then, who is has closed the gap significantly on H Racing Green. I'm going to take a quick drink. And we're out of water, and we're only halfway into the race. Just as well as if we need to, we have a reserve bottle of water in my fridge. So, into the last corner now, watching this battle. Fap Alex getting a nice drive off the corner. Will H Racing Green defend? Dowd has got another penalty to add to his collection. Fap Alex not going for a move on the brakes. H Racing Green very wide on the exit though. But there's no real way to overtake unless you're fully alongside coming into this section of the track, into the S's. And Fap Alex just got to hold on for now and wait for this back straight, in which Demon is now on to the back of Slossie with the DRS. Is he going to be close enough for a move into turn 12? As a look, sticks his nose in, and Slossie kind of had to give way there, rather forcefully. It must be said. But yeah, that's Demon up into second, and I don't really expect much of these positions to change up at the front, unless the tyres start to go away towards the end of the race, which can still happen, because remember they are going to have to do about 23, 24, 25 laps to get towards the end of the Grand Prix. So, next up on the hit list is going to be Alex, and we're now switching back. H Racing Green has got a big train in front of him, and I feel like he's beginning to struggle with pace, whether or not he's overdone it on his rear tyres, because he is drifting. He is drifting his way through these corners now. Let's watch his car. His rear tyres don't look good, and I feel like Alex is going to have an easy run in towards turn 1. H Racing Green puts up no resistance, and now the McLaren's got Jake on his case. Although Alex has gone wide through turn, he's lost the back end through turn number 1, and these two, that gave H Racing Green a run back at him, and managed to retake the position, and they've cost themselves an awful lot of time in doing all of that. But yeah, I think okay, Jake's made a big mistake there. Jake made a huge mistake, and that's going to cost him DRS and probably a place to Hasnane as well. Alex is also up the inside, coming into the left-hander, and has got that position. Fap Alex is also going to have the DRS, which will give him. Will it give him enough straight line speed towards the end of the back straight? We're going to have to wait and find out. It does. It is giving him enough straight line speed. So that is Fap Alex up into 9th place, and H Racing Green falling back down to 10th. So that's his. He's going to, I think, struggle to maintain points there. And Slossie has come in from 3rd place, so we're going to see where he funnels out in all of this. I feel like he's going to be ahead of this. battle. And he's going to be in a quite good position, as Jake is struggling with a lot of understeer. And Harry, H Racing Green, just looks like he's struggling with his car, this full stop here, because he's just sliding all over the shop, especially through the second to last corner. So, where is Slossie? Slossie's ahead of them, I think. Yeah, he's ahead of them. So, he's going to go back towards Jamie 9 and 5. Whether or not he makes that much progress towards Raymith, we'll have to see. And this is Sean on the back of Dowd. Dowd's gone wide. Oh dear, H Racing Green's had a mare. We're going to not cut to that because we've got more important things to worry about. We've got the championship leader going against Dowd in the Red Bull. Dowd puts up no resistance. Sean is up the inside on significantly better tyres. And yeah, Dowd puts up no resistance. Sean gets that stop very well indeed. And Dowd does not come back on the brakes. And that's Sean up into 4th place. So remember, as things currently stand, Sean is going to lose the championship lead to Shelley. Because Shelley was only 6 points behind coming into this event. And the way it is right now, Sean is losing 13 to the Toro Rosso at the moment. So they're gonna struggle. Sean's gonna struggle to maintain the lead, even if he's second to Shelley. He'll still lose the lead and be a point behind. So Raymith has just got a penalty. So Slossie does have a chance, you know, of getting 6th place because of the... to be fair, Slossie has also got 2 penalties, so forget what I've just said there. We're going to move on and watch this battle between Hasnain and Jake. Jake, I think, getting towards the end of those tyres, and definitely in not an ideal spot right now. And I think, considering where Shelley and Alex were, Jake's fallen off somewhere. I was too busy looking at the leaderboard, and Jake has fallen off. So we're down to just 11 runners then, and well, that's disappointing. Anyway, we kind of got no real amazing battles. I think things are happening. Right, Slossie's up the inside of Jamie. Jamie putting up once again no resistance, as Slossie's on significantly fresher tyres and a step softer tyres as well. So that is Slossie up into 7th place. Now, can he make any inroads into Raymith? I don't know. I think they've both got 6 seconds worth of penalties each. I am just guessing though, I don't actually remember. But anyway, on to lap 19 we go. Slossie set the fastest lap of the race while passing Jamie there, so he's clearly got some good pace and has already broke the DRS of Jamie, so he's clearly got some good pace. Dowd has now got a 4th penalty, I believe that is. So Slossie is now, I'd say, in the running for 6th, but that's because Dowd's got so many penalties. So considering everything, I feel like Shelley and Alex are in a relatively good position on tyres, because they went quite deep into the race, considering they were on the ultra softs. They managed the tyres pretty well, or very well in Shelley's case, which allowed him to go to lap 8, and has put him on a decent set of tyres that can probably get him towards the end of the race. So the field is all quite spread out now. 34 seconds covering everyone. So let's look at the big position gainers from this race. Obviously Sean, as I said at the start of the Grand Prix, or just before the Grand Prix got underway, has a habit of making his way up through the order, and is doing just that. So he's doing a very good job of that actually, and is just 7.5 seconds off the lead. But I don't see him challenging Alex, quite frankly. I don't think he's got enough pace. Although things look like they're getting... It depends, actually. Considering Fat Demon's just got, I think, his second penalty of the race, Sean might be on for a podium. Because Alex is closing up to the McLaren. And we're gonna spectate this. Here is Alex. There's Sean in the background. Sean is catching them. So, yeah. Alex is catching Demon and Sean is catching the pair of them. So, second place could be on the cards here. It depends how much Alex gets held up behind Demon, as he's lost a lot on the straight there. So, I think Alex is running quite high wings. But, yeah, Sean closing the gap quite significantly up to Alex. So we're going to see... This is going to be an interesting ending for the runner-up spot. Sean does have a penalty as well. Let's bear that in mind. At least one, maybe two. Again, my memory's terrible. But Dawid adding a 5th penalty to his collection this afternoon. So he is definitely going to finish behind Slossie, and that puts Jamie in the position where he can sneak up ahead of Dawid as well. So 8 laps to go, including this one. Shelley looking very comfortable up front as Slossie sets another fastest lap of the race. And Dawid in 5th, losing touch with these three. And Raymith is pulling him in, you know. Raymith is closing that gap in 6th position. And Jamie losing touch quite a lot, actually, it must be said, with Slossie. I know he's on the super soft, but he is struggling for pace. But yeah, Slossie's doing a good job in trying to close that gap down. But I don't think it's going to be enough for the Mercedes. So Alex now in the position where he has DRS, which will give him a couple of tenths down the straight, considering he lost 3 tenths on the previous lap on the straight. And he's gained 1. I think that's about almost half a second he's gained on the straight there. So he's in the DRS zone, and I think no doubt, judging by the movements of the car, is looking more in control through the corners. And now that Alex is in this position where he's now within that 1 second zone, Sean is gonna start catching that a little bit more. He's just 1.6 behind as we go over the line. It's now 1.5. So Sean is gaining. Obviously he's on the freshest tyres of the top 5, and it's easy to see why Dawid is losing touch with him, because he's now got the oldest tyres of anyone in the whole field. The other people that pitted on the same lap with him are now out of the race. So Dawid's going to struggle towards the end of this race. He's got 15 seconds worth of time penalties. And he's got pretty bad tyres. Like Raymith behind has got 6 laps fresher tyres in him. So he's definitely going to struggle. And Slossie's also closing that gap as Fap Alex gets another penalty as well. So that's going to allow Roy, I think, a chance to gain some points, because I think Fap Alex is going to drop down to 11th, judging by doing some quick math. So a lot to be resolved here towards the end of this Grand Prix. Lap 22 of 28. Shelley looking quite comfortable, as we've been saying throughout the whole of this race, it must be said. Since about lap 3 or 4, as soon as he got past Demon and started to pull away as Demon was struggling for rear tyres, it's looked like he's been in a commanding position. There he is, just heading into turn 1 at the top of the screen. Raymond gets a penalty, as he is now on the back of Dawid for 5th place. And Dawid really struggling. We're going to have to flip back to that, because this is a fight that we're going to want to see, because Alex isn't really doing anything against Demon at the moment. And Dawid well wide on the exit of turn 1 there. So will that now Oh, Raymith is all over and through the S's, but there's no place to overtake here. Dowd sliding his way in the middle of a fast corner. That's quite scary when you're driving. Obviously, amazing to look at, but yeah, definitely not. Definitely not something you want to have as a driver. And Raymith on significantly better tyres, just sitting behind for now, knowing he's going to get some pretty good drive coming off the corner. And I feel like this is going to be pretty easy for the Ferrari. Dowd puts up absolutely no resistance because there's absolutely no point in resisting. And Dowd just tucks back into his slipstream, and that's the Ferrari up into 5th place. So next up is the Mercedes of Slossie, who is just 3 seconds behind, and I feel like that gap's going to come down significantly in the remaining laps. And we're going to have to see this battle that's going on for last but one, and that's right up into the points. I think that is. Dowd gets a 6th penalty. How many penalties do you get before you get disqualified? Because this is now becoming pretty embarrassing for Dowd right now. But yeah, so Roy is up into 10th. Has name drops out of the points. And I've lost track of the penalties for these guys down at the back. But I'm pretty sure Fap Alex is going to drop behind these two come the end of the race. But yeah, let's head back to the battle for 2nd place. Fap Demon, Alex and Sean all in that one shot on the run in towards turn 11. Demon, I think, taking a very late apex there to try and get some good drive coming off of turn 11. And it'll give him a marginal advantage onto the back straight. And considering how bad Alex's straight line speed is, it's working out pretty well for the McLaren at the moment. But obviously we have got to bear in mind penalties. That Demon, I think, has 2, Alex has none, and Sean has 1. So Demon, I think, is going to drop to 4th place in the remaining, well, whether it will be, it's going to be interesting to see whether or not that happens on track or after the race. But it's definitely going to happen after the race, barring these 2 drivers behind don't do something really silly in the remaining 4 laps of this Grand Prix. So Sean across the line, there he is, right on the back of Alex. Sean, is he going to go for the move up and towards turn 1? He has a think about it, has a look, sticks his nose in, bumps into Alex. And that looked like a half-hearted move, which turned it into an accidental overtake. And then now side by side, through into the S's. And that's Sean up into 3rd place. And I have no doubt in my mind that he's going to breeze past Fat Demon pretty easily when it comes to the back straight. He's on 4 laps fresher tyres than the McLaren. So, yeah, I think the McLaren's going to be some quite easy meat. And that all came down to the fact that that Red Bull of Alex has no straight line speed whatsoever. Let's just see the effects, because Sean does not have DRS here. Alex will do. Let's just see how much Alex will gain. Yeah, he's just not gaining anything on the straights. He's gaining next to nothing on the straights. So that's been what's stopping him from passing the McLaren, and what I would guess is going to cost him 2nd place if Sean can't pass Demon and escape up the road, because I'm pretty sure Alex does not have a penalty and Sean definitely does have at least 1. So we're going to quickly head back down the order and watch the battle between these two. Is Fap Alex, I believe, is now getting towards the end of his tyres, and Roy, oh, having a look up the inside. I feel like that was a nudge there, and there was a move that was not really on from Roy. And Fap Alex very wide on the exit, no real massive advantage gained, but yeah, that was a little bit unsensible from the Mercedes driver as we head into the last corner and into turn 1. Roy's going to have the DRS against the Haas, has a look up the inside, dives up the inside now, and goes quite deep into the corner. And Fap Alex just gets a nice easy cut back and gets that position back. So, yeah, too late in the day for the Mercedes, and it's cost him a run at 9th place there. And he's now got a penalty as well just to add to his trouble. So, here we go then. Two extremely hard races in Demon and Sean. Sean a little bit clumsy sometimes, as we've already seen, with a rather clumsy move up against the Red Bull of Alex, where he kind of went for a half-hearted move and turned it into an accidental overtake. So, into the last corner, and Slossie and Doward have switched positions. Doward's got another penalty. Jesus, that's quite something. Anyway, on to the penultimate lap of the race. Demon in 2nd place. Sean is going to have to go to the outside because Demon's defended. We've got an awful camera angle, another awful camera angle, and Demon parks it on the apex so that Sean can't get a cutback in towards turn 2 and 3. And Sean is going to have to sit behind for now. So it's good to see we've got some actual racing going on rather than people just being let through down the back straight. And Demon will fight this, as we've just seen, and this will give Alex the opportunity to grab 2nd place here, because these two definitely have penalties. And yeah, as we said before, pretty sure Alex has none. So here we go, on to the back straight. This is going to be pretty tough for Demon to defend. He's going towards the middle of the track already. Sean with the DRS, no doubt, is going to be in overtake. We can see he's in overtake in the steering wheel and going towards the outside. Demon covers off the left pretty well. Sean can't quite get a big enough switchback. Gone very deep around the outside, and Demon's gonna have to give him the space. Sean's got the inside for the left-hander, and Demon chose not to run him out of road. Demon's now stuck his nose in, back up the inside through the right-hander, and just about making it work. But this will give Demon, the DRS up towards turn 1, but I don't think he's got the grip to come back at him. So as we head onto the final lap, this has allowed Shelley to get an even bigger lead up front, and Demon with the DRS is not going to be close enough for a move into turn 1, and I feel like Sean's going to just scamper away a little bit, and this might be the battle over. Can Alex hold on to try and nab 2nd place? It's going to be interesting to see, and everything's kind of calmed down as we've got on to this final lap. Gaps have opened up, so especially down at the back as well. So it's been a commanding race. It's been a commanding race from Shelley's point of view. Had no real problems, and I don't expect much to change in this battle, on track at least, because as we've seen before, Alex has got no straight line speed, so he's going to gain a couple tenths, but it's not going to be anywhere near enough unless Demon makes a mistake in this final sector. But here is the man of the moment, the man who is going to take the championship lead back from Sean. And something has gone on in the middle sector there, because there's a yellow flag for some reason. I'm going to have to wait and see why that is. I think Doward's had a moment at some point. But anyway, here comes Shelley across the line to retake the championship lead by a single point. Shelley with a very good commanding race there. Sean going to come across the line in 2nd place. Demon in 3rd. And Alex does indeed finish 2nd. Sean misses out by 3 tenths, so it will be a 4-point lead at the top of the championship. Slossie comes home in 6th place, just 2 seconds off of Raymith. Jamie, where's Doward gone? Oh, Doward's lost. Doward's got a lot of wing damage, so his race goes from bad to worse. And he's got a rear puncture. I don't think he's actually got a rear puncture, but he must be close. He's got no rear tyres left, that's for damn sure. And I think he's gonna... Is he gonna finish even in the points? I don't think he's even gonna finish in the points, you know. He does. He gets 1 point. What a race from Doward. From going and challenging for 3rd, he's ended up in 10th. So, yeah, it's been quite a disappointing race for Dawid. But here is going to be the championship leader in Shelley. And he's done a very good job in that Toro Rosso to take that trophy home. And yeah, he'll be happy about that. He's going to lead the championship by 4 points now. And Toro Rosso carry on the bid for the constructors for at least another race. And yeah, it's been a very good drive. Not an amazing US Grand Prix by any stretch of the imagination, but here is the order then. Shelley, Alex and Jamie, the only drivers without penalties, and it paid off in Alex's and Jamie's case. But yeah, Dawid had 21 seconds worth of penalties. So did Fap Alex, so that's why they ended up down at the back. But yeah, that has been the United States Grand Prix. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time out for the Mexican Grand Prix. I've been Shane. See you next week.